Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading, to celebrate Kali Puja, we are doing your message today from Kali. So wishing you a happy Puja, everyone. May Ma bring you and your loved ones joy, and may her divine blessings be with you always. I wanted to also do this reading during the Durga Puja at the beginning of the month, but I had issues with my computer back then, so I'm happy we have this opportunity to do it today and to listen to what Kali's message is for you today. And to do this reading, we are going to be picking between 3 forms of Kali. Let's see what we get for today's reading exactly. So 1, 2, I feel this one, and 3. All right. So for pile number 1, this is Kali's form. For pile number 2, this is Kali's form. And for pile number 3, this is Kali's form. If you like to pick with crystals, let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, we have the Dalmation Jasper, and this is what your crystal looks like. For pile number 2, we have the red Jasper, and this is what your crystal looks like. For pile number 3, we have the Snowflake Obsidian, and this is what your crystal looks like. So, take a look at which one of these 3 piles or 3 crystals you're the most drawn to. And that's probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile or more than one crystal, as I always say, trust your intuition, because your intuition is your magic that surprises you every time, allowing you to receive your message. And so let it lead the way freely, whether you're drawn to just one pile or one crystal, or maybe you're drawn to several, or perhaps today you're drawn to all of them. Let your intuition lead the way. Enjoy today's reading as you listen to Kali Ma's message to you. And as always, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times, and I'll see you in your readings. Hey soul family, welcome to your shuffling and card picking process. It is so lovely to have you here as we prepare for your piles. I always enjoy this part with you guys, especially, not that I'm telling you to comment or anything, I'm just saying, especially when you guys discuss with me about it during what happens during the preparation. I feel like this connection, it really feels so good. But other than that, please don't get out of your Zen time and comment, not anything like that. Enjoy this time to the full. I'm just sharing my thoughts with you guys. So, oh, wait, before we begin, let me quickly introduce your cards to you. If this is the first time for you to watch the preparation process, on the left are the Oracle decks, And on the right are the tarot decks that we will be using in your reading today. And if you're interested in any of the decks that I use, you'll find that I leave their names down in the description box. Okay, so let's now shuffle with intention and ask, what is your, wow, so that popped up, your message today from Kali? What is your, I feel this one actually. What is your message today from Kali? Thank you. Okay. Now, let's pick up the next deck and shuffle with intention and ask. Oh, two. Right. So what is your message? I see this one. Today from Kali. There we go. Right. What is your message today? Oh, two again. Interesting. That's really interesting. What is your message today from Kali Ma? Let's pick up your tarot decks, and as usual, we'll be taking 2 cards from each deck. So 1. What is your message today from Kali Ma? I feel this one. Okay. So, what is your message today from Kali Ma? Oh, there we go. And I also feel this one. Right. What is your message today from Kali Ma? All right, so our 3 piles are ready. Let's now put them neatly for your reading. Let's pick up the first one. There we go. So we have pile number 1. With the Dalmation Jasper. Pile number 2. Oh, I think there, that's better. There we go. For pile number 2, we have the red Jasper. And for pile number 3, there we go. We have the Snowflake Obsidian. There we go. So, guys, your piles are now ready for your reading. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I truly cherish it as being sacred. Thank you. I love you guys very much. And let's get into your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Dalmation Jasper, as well as the form of Kali Baglamuki. So let's see how this fits into your reading. And let's see what is Kali's message for you today. Just to let you in on a little secret, your message today from Kali will be my message also today. So I'm very curious about what this is, because there's a whole session of things that happened, magical things that happened before the session that I'm sure 1000% is part of your reading that happened to me for my spiritual journey to adjust certain things, which I don't know yet. I'll probably find out in the pile with you today, but they were also significant for your pile, because the things that happen before any pile I know is a message for that pile. So yeah, long story short, let's see what our message together is today. So you have the forest. Oh my god, it's interesting that this actually came out. Okay, so I believe Baglamuki really put me through this. Yes, for my spiritual journey, for sure, which I'm very curious about. But I believe that I got through this so that I can understand what today's cards are saying. You have on one side brave, and on the other side fearful. Yes, okay. Interesting. Yes. You have on one side serene and on the other agitated. I'm mind blown. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I'm gonna take the surprises internally for now until we share them together. You have set your intentions. And you have transform. All right. So let's take a look at the rest of your cards. This is the before tarot. You have the Ace of Wands. These are the scenes right before the Rider-Waite-Smith. And you have the Justice card. You also have the Page of Wands. The Chariot card. The Hermit. The Knight of Swords. You have the Hierophant. And you have the Seven of Swords. So guys, with these two cards, these are the light attribute of this card, and on the other side of the Seven of Swords and Hierophant are the shadow attributes of the card. So let's see what the message is for today's reading. What is your message from Kalima today? So pile number 1, your message today has to do with you feeling lost about something in your life at the moment. Something that is scary, you're feeling afraid. And the most important thing is you're feeling afraid because you don't know if you're going to get out of this tricky, fearful situation. This is exactly what the pile is talking about. You know, with the forest card here, it's like getting into the forest, expecting to have a wonderful time, having amazing expectations as you get into the forest, you know, that you're going to look at the trees and you're going to connect with nature and you're going to see things that are mesmerizing, that just takes you spiritually somewhere else, and you have all these amazing expectations. And then you get into the forest and the night hits, and all of a sudden you're like, it hits your brain in a millisecond that you forgot your way and you don't know how to get out of it now. And you're like, whoa, no, wait a minute. Is this really happening to me? Did I really lose focus of the way? And you start panicking and you look right, left, around, and you start remembering with panic, trying to trace back where you went because you thought you had this figured out. And all of a sudden it's dark, you can't see anything, you can't remember your path, and you start being filled with fears and ideas of what's going to happen to you now, and if you're going to get out of the forest safely, if there are animals that are coming in, and you can't accept what's happening now, that you're really being filled with your fear, that it paralyzes you. And, you know, this is something that I'm going to explore with you, that I still don't have the answer to. I'm sure we're going to get to it. But the part that I do have the answer to, I'm going to start here, and then we're going to unravel this together. But, you know, this paralysis moment is actually one of Baglamuki's powers, which is the Stambara, or I hope I'm pronouncing this right, which is the power to paralyze or immobilize, right? At the end of the day, Baglamuki, she transforms our karma from something that is hindering us to joy. And so she arrests this flow of negativity, and we'll talk about it with the tongue here, right? So do know that if you're feeling paralysis at the moment, that this is why you were drawn to Kali's form, Baglamuki. There is a strong message here for you, my dear pile number 1. If you feel lost in life, not knowing, you know, at the end of the day, when you do find your way, I'm going to get to what I was saying. When you do find your way in the forest and you get out of it and you're like, oh my God, I thought I was going to be lost. I thought I wasn't going to come out of this. And you realize just what kind of pressure and crazy ideas you put yourself through. Feeling lost, that you may even laugh at yourself later on. You realize the mental state that you put yourself into, and hopefully you will learn the lesson. And the strong lesson here is so clear. That's why I laughed when I saw it. Brave and serene instead of fearful and agitated. Because when you get into this mental state, your conscious thinking stops. You're not able to calmly think of solutions. It really, cognitive thinking just stops. You tend to go towards what you're afraid of more than you are of going out of it. And so it's really important that when you find yourself getting lost, this is the moment, actually, even though it's hard, but here is really what we're being taught by Baglamukhi. It is at that moment when you're so afraid, it is that moment where you do have the power to hold on, to hold these negative thoughts by the reins and to think, hey, I am in this situation now. And if I'm not serene and take control of my fears and be brave and know that the best is going to happen, then I'm not going to be able to come out of it. Now is the time to serve myself with that, to know that I'm not alone, although it seems like I am alone, and to know that I will find my way. So I'm going to tell you a glimpse, although I'm really embarrassed to tell you about the story, but it's very significant that I tell you about what happened to me right before your pile, because I'm sure, especially when I saw the forest, and I knew before opening this pile that this whole panic situation happened, so because it pertained to this pile, and when I saw the forest, it was my confirmation. This set of cards was my confirmation. So here is your message from Baglamukhi. Let me start off with the analogy that happened before the reading. So right before I started recording your reading, I was simply picking from one of the decks of today to be the deck that I will use in case there are any further clarifications, right? So I picked this deck and I said, okay, so this is going to be my deck in case I need any further clarifications for any of the piles to further get deeper into Kali Ma's message. I had the full intention of seeing exactly what she wanted to say today. And I kid you not, I hold this deck, and for one clumsy way or the other, something happens and it goes poof, right? I pick it up, even though it was neatly put. I pick it up and it's so slippery that it went poof, right? And I was like, oh my God. So initially I handled this chaotic mess, right? And the reason for it is because I love Kali Ma. And I believe fully that Kali Ma's, this chaos energy comes there for a reason, for us to see something about ourselves that we're not seeing, we're blind to. And through that, we transform into what we are, what we want to be, into the life that we want. So I thought, okay, it was going to be simple. So I thought, okay, so let's take this calmly. Kali Ma is simply just drawing my attention to something about me that I didn't notice, probably for the pile too. And I should just handle this calmly and pick up the pile, pick up the cards, and I'm sure I'll get my message as I'm picking the cards, right? That's all I thought it was. Maybe I thought I was gonna see a card flip and get a message, and no. So I calmly pick up the cards, put it back together, and thought, I have my life together. I'm good. I'm getting my Kali message, right? And so I get hit by an idea. And as I was putting the cards together, I was like, wait a minute. What if there are cards missing? I mean, I saw the cards, but what if there's one card missing, right? Maybe I should count the cards. Right? So I was the other part of me was like, Reem, you have a very tight schedule today. Are you seriously gonna count 78 cards now? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna count the cards. It's not gonna take a long time. Just let me count the cards and see if the deck is missing any card. I can just, check anywhere just to make sure. So I seriously count the cards and I find 6 cards missing, right? To give you just a quick nudge about my day today, my day is jam-packed today, and the reason for that is because I have an important event today, so important to me. The irony, right? So important to me that I crammed tasks for today and tomorrow in my schedule just to be ready for a very important event today. And that's the whole key here. about wanting something so much, right? Or expecting something to go in a direction. I wrote down my schedule yesterday and said, today is a very important day. I have to focus. I'll start off with Kali's reading for me and everyone and finish my tasks and then prepare for this important event. So now, instead of, respecting the time that I put in and realizing that today's a very important day to me, I start obsessing about the deck. And I count the cards, 6 cards are missing. And I'm like, and now I sit down, I'm starting to feel all of the stress all over me. And now I'm wasting time. There are 6 cards missing from the deck. This deck is so important to me for the coming days. I love this deck very much. I'm like, okay, maybe I should just look for the cards later. Reem, and I'm like, no, I gotta look for my cards. Okay? So 6 cards are missing. I'm like, okay, take it slowly. We know Kali's message, and we know that the chaos should be dealt with tranquility. I know that. I'm reminding myself, right? So I'm like, okay, let's just calmly and quietly take a look at the cards under the furniture. So I go down, obsessively look for them everywhere, and I'm wasting time, reading time, wasting my schedule. Already I can see 15-20 minutes are out. That's already going to waste it's putting my schedule behind, and I'm looking for the cards, right? So I don't find any of the cards anywhere, and I'm starting to get more stressed because now I'm stressed over the reading, the cards in should I use this deck? Should I not use this deck? I don't want to get you in this pattern. And I don't want to waste your reading time. Don't worry, I'm going to take my good time in this reading because I feel it's very important. So I go, okay, fine. It's not under this furniture. It's not under there. It's not under there. And I kid you not, my dear pile number 1, I swear to you, I see a tiny golden light go up like that, out of nowhere. And it was so magical. I wasn't moving my eyes for the light to swivel or anything. I swear I saw this point of light go up. And I knew this was a sign. I saw a light. And I knew this was a sign from Baglamuki because she's known for her golden light. And so the light was going up, giving me a clear direction to where my cards were, right? The light was going, look up, not down. So I tried to calm myself down again and think, okay, so Baglamuki is telling me, she was so kind to give me such a clear sign. And I look up and I look at all my surfaces up around me and I can't find the cards. So because I'm so afraid at this moment and this agitated, chaotic mood of feeling very afraid of spoiling my schedule and everything else I've mentioned, I don't take my good time to respect the sign fully, right? Even though that was a miracle. I didn't, of course, realize I was doing that back then. I just looked up and I was like, okay, so it's not up. And I thought to myself that I was seeing things, although I saw the light, that I should just go, and I went back down. Can you believe this? I went back down and I kept looking for my cards. And I wasted an hour because I started, my obsession took me, you will not believe this. My obsession took, because now I lost my way and I got into the cycle. I don't know why. I started thinking about, well, what cards are missing now? I swear I take the deck and I start putting the major arcana aside, dividing the cards into the 4 suits and trying to figure out what cards are missing, right? I find out what cards are missing. I'm like, okay, so we're missing 3 major arcana. I'm missing the Justice card. I'm missing the Hierophant. I'm missing the Fool. I'm missing one of the Cup cards, and I'm missing 2 Wands. And seriously, this is not obsessive. This is not impressive. This is super sad. And I'm like, where did these cards go? What am I? And I'm like, Reem, are you doing the right thing? Because you know, you've seen a sign from Kali. You know that this is chaotic energy meant to show you something. You need to calm down, okay? So I take a deep breath. I know that Kali is trying to teach me something. I know that Baglamuki is putting me in this paralysis situation to stop my karma, to interfere, to correct my thought pattern, to correct how I've been seeing the day from the first place, everything. And when I sit down quietly to think about it, I can't figure out what my message was. But I did see something when I calmed down. When I just started to accept everything that was happening and started to decide, okay, fine, I'll just, write down as a task to look for the rest of the cards later. Let's now start respecting the schedule. Calm down, accept what happens, and just start the reading with serenity. When I reached that point, you know what I realized? I thought to myself, oh my God. The 6 cards that were missing from this deck, since we're using it today, is 2 in every pile. And when I was on the floor and I saw Kali's, or to be specific, Baklamuki's golden light upwards, she was telling me to get up from the floor because the 6 cards were on the table. And I was shocked. And I realized that when we're in this mental state, even when we get a sign as significant as a golden light pointing upwards, and I know it pertains to a Baglamuki. I mean, what more miracles does one need to see that one is divinely being guided for something and still overlook everything and continue with the obsession? Really shows that when one is in this mental state, you can't see light, literal light. You can't see magic. Even when you see the light, you can't, your internal body, your internal psyche, your internal soul does not see the light. When you're being guided out of it, you can't see. When you can't think for yourself better and that's why you have the hermit light to move forward. Hermit and the chariot. Not mine. So Baglamuki's message to you is that if you are currently panicking about something in life, if you have an exam that you need to finish, if you're in a scary situation, you don't know how it's going to end. If there's something seriously worrying you in life at the moment, do know that you're not going to be able to see the light, the signs, your light from your soul, from your body, from your mind, if you do not put yourself in a calm, serene, and brave mode. And by brave, it's not allowing fear to overcome you. It's to voluntarily decide to calm down, to not take in the fears, to realize that you are afraid, and then to calmly push it out, saying, no, I'm not going to be obsessed by that energy. I'm not going to be filled with that energy. I know I'm divinely protected. Let's call upon Source, call upon Kalima, call upon the light, or call upon whatever you believe in. Call upon God, whatever you believe in. And to allow guidance to come to you. Because if you are not in a place of accepting guidance, you're never going to see it. And so, this is more critical than any time to know that you're not going to lose your way, especially if you keep yourself calm and allow guidance to go through you. If you allow that energy, you will always find your way out. And that is the learning lesson with the Hierophant today. Because when you're not in a good mental state, you start learning the wrong things. You start learning ideas such as, it doesn't always go right, by the way. You start letting all these wrong ideas to overcome you. But not everyone gets out of it. Have you spoken to everyone and realized that have they done the right, gone through really internally? Let the light allow them to guide them for us to judge. Sometimes we just learn the wrong things when we're panicking, and we start getting wrong ideas from wrong learnings, that we're not going to get out of it, that light's not going to reach us, that it's not going to go right. Sometimes things can go absolutely right in a millisecond, even if you think it would take more resources, time, or people, or certain powers, or whatever, and it just gets fixed like that, because you're allowing that guidance and that light to go through you. And really, this is Baglamukhi's message to you. You know, the amazing thing about Baglamukhi, also other than her power of the Stambara, which is, like I said, the power to paralyze, is she's known to, let me show you the card here, to pull the tongues out of demons. Do you see the tongue here? And that's a very spiritually symbolic, has a very spiritually symbolic meaning. See, the tongue is, of course, the symbol of speech, right? And sound is creative power, but intention gives it direction, right? Gives this creative power direction. And so to pull out the tongue of a demon is to end their capacity to create trouble, right? And that is the stambara, this paralysis, right? And so this is stemming the flow of negativity, where we're stopping that flow of negativity, and it makes one think. This is how Baglamukhi prevents demons from doing harm. So when we are in that state and we have all these negative ideas, it makes one think that now it's time to, just like Baglamukhi, pull out that tongue, that intention that is taking us in the wrong direction. Like we said, intention gives direction, and now we're setting intention in the wrong direction. We need to pull it out for it not to go in this direction. And we need to set different energy with different intentions for our lives to flow in this direction. And so our awareness in that case becomes the direction in which our lives will actually flow. If we're gonna go, if I were to take this calmly, for example, to continue the example, taking a look at Baglamukhi's direction now, I finally understand. If I was calm, serene, believing that the best was gonna come for me, I would say, okay, so I don't have my cards now. I don't have time to figure this out. The cards are not going to go anywhere, at least for today, right? How about I write it down, and after I finish what is important, go to my important event, come back, and since everything's in place, look for these cards calmly, right? So that could be one thing. Second thing, I would be calm enough to see a golden light and fully recognize the miracle, although I recognize it was a miracle, but to fully respect it and to know, okay, this is telling me something. I physically saw a golden light. My mind's not playing games on me, or I'm not misinterpreting any signs. So I should give it just a little bit more time to see what's up there, right? Because if I, without fear, had looked a little bit up calmly and tranquilly, I would have went, oh yes, how funny, right? And And most importantly, I shouldn't have been obsessed about this idea. See, set intentions and let it fly, right? We want something to happen. Let's not, in my case, let me not direct how it's supposed to go, right? I should be calm, see the signs, accept the direction, even if it takes me in a different direction, and let it manifest in the way it's supposed to manifest, knowing that I'm trying my best and I will get what I want. And if I don't get it today, it's not meant to happen, it's not good, and that things are going to transform for me in the best way possible. And not to get into this fearful state and to let it increase by time, because the more I get into this fearful state, the more I'm manifesting it and the more it's actually happening more and more. And that's the tricky energy of the Seven of Swords. And you can really see here how you can bring things into balance. Once you set things into intention, take command, take action, but with balance. Let intentions flow, as we learned from Baglamukhi, in the right direction. Because if we don't, Baglamukhi is going to interfere, paralyze us with the intention of allowing us to stop this pattern and calm down and think in the right direction, because we don't want this energy to continue to manifest. Sometimes this paralysis is good for us because pattern interrupts. Take it as an opportunity to go, okay, now I need to calm down. I don't want this to manifest in the wrong direction, into tricky energy. Let's see how we can take this energy to manifest it in the right direction, because the more I involve myself in this energy, the more it's going to go in the right place. So see, intention moves creative power. Don't obsess over just creative power of what am I going to do, what am I going to do. Also, intention is important. And so it is what directs this creative energy. So it's very important to set intentions first, to go, it's going to be okay. I will find my way out. I will allow divine guidance to go through me, and it will guide me. And from that energy, think, what should I do now? Not think from a panic mode, okay, what should I do now? I'm thinking, it's not coming. You know? Think from a place of tranquility, from a place of knowing that the best is going to happen, everything's going to go great. So from that place, what should I do now? It's critical during that time, specifically, to set intentions, right, in the positive direction and allow it to manifest itself through you, right? Pile number 1, this is a strong message for me and for you, and it will remain to be one of my magical moments in my life. Every time I get into panic mode, I will remember this moment, and I'm grateful to have experienced an experience like that. And this is why I'm sure this is quite significant to you too. If you are going through this, my dear pile number 1, in any area of your life where it's not going in the direction that you want, you're panicking. My experience was a mini version of perhaps a long version in your story in an area of your life. And really your message from Baglamukhi is to follow the golden light, whether you physically see it or see it from the heart, by simply allowing the magic to go through you. As long as you're balanced and not being overtaken by fear and agitation, lack of patience, and whatever else comes along with that, know that you will be guided and you will always, always, always find your way out. Call upon Baglamukhi, her energy transforms our karma from what hinders to the joy that creates true happiness in our lives. Allow that energy to go through you, to that bliss to go through you, because it is through that bliss going through you that you will find your way. And through that way, you will learn so many wise things to take in your journey, so that when other things happen, you let that energy flow and things happen to you much faster. Why should it take weeks or years of our lives when we can really allow for that energy to flow? Don't let the wrong learnings to go through your mind. Oh, it's nothing is meant to happen for me. A lot of people get bad things. Not everything happens. All of these things, wrong learnings that simply come from experiences that happened during shadow times and not during light times. Take your time to allow divine guidance to go through you, and to allow you, to show you that everything not just works out, it works out amazing. Maybe not in the way that you see it, but it could sometimes see, because we see two forms here. Maybe it doesn't transform in one way, it transforms into a much more significant way. Just allow it to manifest. And believe me, pile number one, or believe Kali Ma, you will always get something amazing. Just let it be. Don't try to control it. Don't try to obsess over it. Don't be agitated. You will not be lost, my dear soul. You will not be lost. You will always find your way. You will always find that magical pathway out of the forest if you should simply allow divine guidance to go through you. This way, you will start going fast. Knight of Swords, Chariot, both energy of going forward, moving forward fast. So allow that energy to go through you, my dear pile number one, and your soul shall never be lost or disappointed. This was your reading, my dear pile number one. I promise you, I will cherish this memory for as long as I live. Hard-learned lesson, hard lesson learned. And really, this is a great pattern interrupt for me personally, because when things get out of schedule for me, I tend to be fearful, to be quite honest and frank. And I get into a pattern that I wouldn't be proud to live by or live with. And I should just accept to let things flow the way they're meant to be. Sometimes I just try to protect my free time as I protect and respect my work. And really, either way, I should just let it flow. Either way, in the direction that it's supposed to be. And I hope you've received your message today, my dear pal number one. What a significant reading. Guys, happy puja, everyone. What a beautiful, magical day. What a magical reading. Oh, love you guys very much. This was your reading, and if you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Also, by the way, if you enjoy Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel. It's the first link in the description box. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, pile number one, if you're looking for ways to be more productive and learn how to have self-discipline and to organize your time, all while enjoying it. I know it's very ironic with what happened today, but believe me, usually this book will really guide you in this direction if you allow, of course, Baglamukhi's energy. That's the right way to do it, to flow through you. You will really enjoy the learnings in this book. You will enjoy being productive. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And pile number one, it was a real pleasure. And it was also a very private moment with you guys, because usually I don't just let myself out, but in today's reading I let myself open fully and be vulnerable, because that was the energy that was supposed to flow honestly and fully into your reading. So pile number one, it was so lovely, magical and spiritual connecting with you guys today. Thank you, Kalima. Thank you for sharing this energy with me today. May you always be divinely guided. that was your reading, my dear pal number 1. So hard to let you go after today's reading. I'm letting you go with energy full of blessings, divine guidance, and for light to always flow through you, for you to always find your way. That was your reading, pile number 1, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful red Jasper as well as the Kalima form Dumavati. So let's put your main card right there and see how that fits into your message today from Kalima. We'll be starting off with your oracle cards first. So, my dear pile number 2, you have the Creator, and you see someone perhaps reshaping or writing their own destiny, maybe after something has happened, which really goes with the energy of Dumavati, actually. All right, let's take a look at the rest of your cards. You have Astonished, and on the other side you have Vulnerable. And you have Guidance is Golden. All right. Perhaps the guidance you're getting today from Kalima is very important. Let's see what kind of divine guidance we're getting today. So, my dear pal number 2, this is the before tarot. So these are the scenes right before the Rider-Waite-Smith. You have the Hierophant. And you have the 3 of Wands. By the way, I just want to say something. I had a very, very significant, almost divine experience before today's reading with Kalima. And if you're interested in learning more about the story of what happened, if you feel called to it, I feel like it was such a divine experience with Kali. You may want to check pile number 1. I said the whole story there because it was relevant completely to their pile. It happened before their pile, and really was such a powerful message. Genuinely, like directly guided. They're all directly, I'm sure, 1000% now. Always, but especially in today's reading by Kalima. But there's an intimate story that happened with me in pile number 1 if you want to check it. Okay, so you also have the Ace of Pentacles. You have the 10 of Pentacles. The 7 of Cups. Oh, you have the Page of Swords. You have the 4 of Swords. And you have the 5 of Pentacles. By the way, with these 2 cards, these are the light, let me hold them well. These are the light attributes of these cards, the 4 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles. And on the other side, these are the shadow attributes to the 4 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles. All right, so let's take a closer look at your cards and see exactly what Dumavati is presenting to you today in divine guidance. And you do have guidance is golden. I really feel like today's reading is very significant. Astonished and vulnerable. And of course, vulnerable, again, goes with Dumavati's message. But let me put the whole message together. Give me a second. So pile number 2. It seems in your reading that with all of the green, first of all, that there is a lot of heart chakra healing to happen. This really tells me, along with Dhumavati appearing for your reading, that there is a lot of smoke in your life at the moment. You cannot see ahead. There's a lot of pain and suffering going on, and you really don't know where to go. You're tired, and maybe a lot of the times you do not see that things could go better, or that there is a better future. Perhaps sometimes there could be loss of hope. And see, the form of Dhumavati, where she dwells in smoke, is very significant in your reading, because smoke is the pollution or concealing manifestation of fire. And so during tough times, very tough, painful, burning times, we cannot see through the smoke. We feel like this is the end. And because of all of this smoke, we seriously cannot see ahead, and we cannot believe during that time that there are blessings hidden behind these sufferings. And this is what Dhumavati teaches us, that during these times, more than ever, we learn that, first of all, these things happen for a reason, and we're going to be discussing it here, and it's Dhumavati's message of how these difficult times shape us, transform us, and their predecessors to radical changes and reinventions in your whole life. These are the times that shape who we are, and shape our divine mission, shape our path, and allow us to be able to receive huge blessings that we may not have been able to receive in the past, because of the shaping and because of how we can handle these blessings later on. So during these times, because there's so much smoke, it is very difficult for us to see what lies ahead of it every single time, especially if this time is prolonged. And it is during that time where one can heal and shorten that time by knowing that there is always something on the other side, that things happen for a reason. Excuse me. And that trust at this time must be unconditional. And that later on, one shall see that everything has worked out for the absolute best. So, during times like these, where we go through these times, we come out of it in two forms. We either become so much in pain that we start inflicting pain onto others, or we decide to process through these pains and grow, form kindness, empathy towards others, and we become, this wound becomes our superpower and helps us later on guide others and become beings of light and help the world. And so, as you can see with the Five of Pentacles here, a lack of something, a lack of hope, lack of anything in your life during tough situations will either make you close down, be very secretive, even towards yourself, and not allowing yourself to be truthful, as the message of Dhumavati, where with the smoke, it's time for us to not close down, but open up and see why we feel guilt, why we feel shame, or why we feel pain. What is it teaching us? What is it telling us? To be open and vulnerable with ourselves and tell ourselves honestly, where did we go wrong? Even if wrong was inflicted on us, did we not speak up? Could we have done something, for us to not shame ourselves in the past, but to learn from it, so that one can develop wisdom, true wisdom. That's where wisdom is made, so that one can deal with it better the next time. During that time, one should not blame ourselves for anything, because we're learning. If we see, this is why the Hierophant is being crowned. The Hierophant has learned something and can now become a leader to lead others during these times. We get understandings as the Three of Wands, messages and understandings of how to deal better the next time, only when we become vulnerable. When we become vulnerable, we get into the childlike state of astonishment, which we tend to lose as we grow up. You know, as a child, everything astounds us because we're open for it. We let it teach us. And so to go through difficult times, it is the time for one to open oneself up honestly with vulnerability, and to really ask, what went wrong? What can I learn from this? And how can I do things better the next time? And that's the golden guidance. It is, now I understand, it is during these times that we learn the most, because next time we're more equipped to do things in a much better way. In fact, with the Creator here, the more we open ourselves to the lessons, the better we are in command of what's happening in our lives. And from there, we can shape and recreate our own existence, to remove ourselves from the past and the pain is to decide that whatever happened in the past happened, to release it, to let it go, learn from it, and now to decide to be in control, to hold the pen of our life's creation, and to redraw our lives, because now we have the power, since we released these emotions from taking control of us, and we rather take control of our lives, holding that pen once again and going, I accept what happened. I will now heal myself through acceptance. I will heal myself through the wisdom that I've learned during that time. I have gotten my message, and let's start and build a new tomorrow, to plant the seeds for me to take everything that I ever wanted and more. And you will see how things unveil for you, pile number 2. This is Dumavati's lesson. When you learn the lesson, you allow divine guidance to go through you, and you reshape your life in the direction that you want, because this is your spiritual journey. It's taking you in this direction for a reason. It's certainly not taking you there to suffer. Absolutely not. The whole teachings is all about healing the heart chakra, healing our chakras, and that's why you have all of the chakra colors here, vibrating gratitude. How can this be the teachings while life is showing us otherwise? If they don't make sense together, then either the dark side is right or the guidance is. And sometimes when we dwell on the dark side, pain starts to tell us otherwise, starts to tell us that we're not loved, we're not alone, we're supposed to shame ourselves maybe, or supposed to live in bad luck maybe with the 5 of Pentacles, when this is not the case at all. The sooner we come to understand and realize that this was divine guidance for us to learn more, gain wisdom, to have acceptance, and to take the reins of our lives by being the ones who create our lives and not letting life create us. We start to heal, be wiser, and be more powerful and more in control. Our light becomes our guidance and our power towards exactly what we want. Things happen, they will always happen. We grow through them, but it is about, sorry, I saw something moving. I got shocked. Sorry about that. So maybe this is a message. It's about not being afraid, right? Or being astounded, being shocked by it. It's by taking in the shock, yes, but calming oneself down and seeing why things happened the way they did. Learn from it, change it. Don't be ashamed of it. It's there to give you a sense or a smell of what was going wrong, so that you can fix it better the next time, to take action, to do it right. From there, you take command without shame, without blame, without hating what happened or hating the people. Know that everyone's going through a spiritual journey. Let it be, let it reside, heal, and take command of your life and start drawing it for yourself. Which is more important, to dwell and feel the pain, or to actually manifest exactly what you want? So Dhumavati is showing you that you have command of what's happening, and so long as you don't allow the smoke to choke you, but rather to transform you, during that time is the time of belief, of tranquility, even though there is smoke, and to preside over it and not choke is the minute you will hold power in your hands and look now within for the future and not without for the future. It's not time to look with your physical eyes, because your physical eyes cannot see at the moment. There's a lot of smoke. It's time for your internal eyes to take the lead, to know that you're divinely guided, that it's going to be okay, to learn what happened, and to draw your future from within and to take yourself without. My dear pile number 2. You know, pile number 2, you have the hummingbird in the Page of Swords, and the hummingbird always knows its way to its nectar back and forth every day, knows where its nectar is, goes every day to get it and come back. So we see that, yeah, it knows its way. And here we can see that your soul knows the way. And if you allow it to guide you without restricting it through guilt, shame, physically seeing the smoke and thinking there's no way out, blaming ourselves for the past, not learning, feeling the pain, we're hindering it from allowing it to learn the lessons and to take us to where our soul, our very soul, is yearning to go. And so here we see, you see, if we allow our souls to learn from the lessons without putting any labels, we realize that this is not really us. Our soul is very different from who we were yesterday or 5. Even we evolve. We have changed in so many ways where we're not our past selves in many ways. There are things that we used to do that we cannot imagine that we would do now. And so we have definitely changed. And so on a soul level, the very things that you're worried about and perhaps blame yourself for or don't want to see is actually not you. And so opening up your mind, knowing that it's a learning curve for you to reach your higher self, reach who you are supposed to be. It's by allowing yourself to learn from the past. Why maybe didn't I speak up? Or why did I say that? Or why did I do that? Without shame, without guilt, to allow it to take you forward. You see, on the 4 of Swords, during that transitional phase of our lives where things are really tough, emotions are at an all-time high, fear and everything, it's not time to shut off. You see on the 4 of Swords here, their very same thoughts are allowing them to learn, to grow with the transformation and bring serenity into their lives through this process, as opposed to letting our thoughts destruct our world, cause more chaos, and let it be the very same thoughts that inflict pain upon us. So yeah, that's why you have golden guidance, to open your mind, to be vulnerable and be astounded by learning the lessons, to keep an open mind, just like the child is astounded by something, to look closely at it and vulnerably and open-mindedly at what happened, so that to receive messages from our soul, to learn from it and to move on with strength, build a new you and a new tomorrow in a totally different way, so that you are closer to your higher self. And this way you are closer to what you want to achieve. You'll have the power to now create your own reality, create your new you that is closer to you, actually, rather than shutting off and prolonging this period. That's exactly what I see. This allows you to learn, to open up your minds to different ideas that you may not have allowed yourself to see, to soak in it, and to take the guidance so that you become the favorable version of yourself that you want to be, the stronger version, the better version. It becomes your superpower. You become who you want to be, and your life becomes what you want it to be. We see here your message from Kalima is to start planting the seeds today of who you want to be and what you want your life to be, to start taking control of that, to start shaping you and your life, and you will see that you will come out of this smoke very easily, because this smoke was meant to help you grow into manifesting everything that you want. That's the whole spiritual lesson and path that you're meant to go through for a type of growth and upgrade and dreams that maybe very few can have. It takes a strong soul to go first through these experiences and to come out of it the other side and be and have the type of things that this soul should have and deserves to have. You are on your path to creating the best version of your life. You are about to come out of the smoke. Allow it to go through. Allow yourself to learn, and you will see, my dear pile number two, your message from Dumabati is that she is there guiding you through it. That is what Dumabati does. So call upon her, and do know that you're about to have a wonderful life, more than you can imagine, because 10 is an excess of an energy. This is you achieving everything that you want in your life and more, becoming everything that you want in your life and more. Pick up your pen symbolically and start shaping your own reality, which will soon manifest in your 3D. This is exactly what I see in your message from Kalima, my dear pal number 2. It was such an honor and a pleasure to be able to deliver this message to you. Thank you for allowing me to do that. Thank you for tuning in. And my dear pal number 2, if you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Also, if you enjoy Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel. It's the first link in the description box. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, pile number 2. This book is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate reading it, but you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audio form of this book if you love listening to your books. And pile number 2, it was a real pleasure doing this reading for you. Happy puja, everyone, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Snowflake Obsidian as well as Chamunda. So lovely. Let's see how this form of Kalima fits into your reading of her message to you today. To do that, we are going to start off with your oracle cards. So pile number 3, you have the sword. How interesting. Taking command of power. All right. You also have unbelievable. You have strength, and on the other side you have weakness. Wonderful. Okay. And you have unleash your passion. Okay. Let's take a look at your tarot cards. So, my dear pile number 3, by the way, these are the before tarot. So these are the scenes before the regular Rider-Waite-Smith. You have the King of Cups. And you have the Fool. You have the Hanged Man. The 7 of Pentacles. You have the 6 of Wands. Wonderful. I'm just going to leave that there because that's one of the most powerful messages in your reading today. You have the 3 of Cups. You have the King of Pentacles, and that's the light side of this King of Pentacles. And this is the shadow side of the King of Pentacles. Right? Here with the 8 of Swords, again, that is the light side and that is the shadow side. So pile number 3, your message is very clear here, straight right off the bat. We have, in fact, the form of Kalima Chamunda, which is a very powerful form of Kalima, and the reason for that is because, first of all, she's known as the ferocious warrior goddess, and she takes her name from overcoming 2 demons whom she defeated, Chanda and Munda, and so her name is a symbol of gaining power, and that's why you have the sword here. So I can clearly see straight and right off the bat that if you are going through a situation where you feel like you are powerless, the situation is taking control of you, first of all, I really see that Chamunda is telling you that you will overcome this. You know, Chamunda is a ferocious protector, and if you call upon her, she really protects you, is there for you, and she can even recognize how much we've entangled ourselves in which that is not good for us. So sometimes we've not realized just how much we've entangled ourselves, especially with our thoughts, weakening thoughts, that we're stuck, when really we see here with the 8 of Swords, the same circumstances are there, same chair, same everything. The person is not there, showing that they're not letting these thoughts take control of them, despite of the circumstances and the situations that are happening. And so we see your message from Chamunda that although the circumstances and the situations that are happening to you may look like they are there to keep you stuck, but really you will be victorious with the 6 of Wands. Chamunda is there protecting you, and you know that's why Chamunda has 3 eyes here, powerful eyes, showing that they have this intense, strong energy to burn away any evil in all of the worlds and all of the dimensions. So you're divinely protected, my dear pile number 3, and you will be protected during your tough times, but do know that they're not there meant to put you down. They're there to push you to move forward, actually, with the Fool card appearing here. This is the before tarot. It shows the Fool beginning their journey before they even reach, you know, the regular scene where they're at the precipice of the mountain. So these events in your life, they're not meant to keep you stuck with unleash your passion. They're actually meant to make you strong and move towards the things that you want, knowing that you are protected, knowing that you will be victorious. But here it's about patience and changing perspective. Because if you're afraid to lose, you will continue to be stagnant. And if you feel that the situation you are in is meant to keep you still, then you will not have the open-mindedness to consider what you may love or like or have, and to move forward through it, because you have decided that this is the way it's meant to be, when really that's the entangled thought that one may have gotten themselves into without realizing. And that's why, for reassurance, Chamunda is in your reading today, because her presence indicates that you're not going to just overcome an obstacle in your life, but you're actually going to gain mastery over these energy that got you into it in the first place. And you will never be troubled by these things ever again, because with the sword you will learn to have the right thoughts. That's where it begins, the right thoughts to overcome challenges like these. And so when the next time these challenges come, you know that you've overcome them. You know that see, these types of energies, they don't keep you stuck. It's the illusion, that's the word I'm looking for. It's the illusion that they will keep you stuck, that will actually keep you stuck, not the circumstances themselves. When next time things like that happen, you remind yourself, oh yes, I know this energy, I've been through it before, it's not true. It will dissipate, and you start taking command of your thoughts, hence helping you move forward, shift your reality. Does it take a little bit of time? Of course it does. It takes time to build, specifically to build inertia. But once you build your inertia, you'll start feeling like things are rolling very quickly. Things are changing at great speeds. And you're moving forward quickly but effortlessly, my dear pile number 3. So really, your message from Kalima today is that first, you are divinely protected. Nothing is there to stay, and to not feel weakened by your situation, but it's there to push you to have the strength to hold things in your own hands, to control your thoughts and shift them from feeling like they're meant to keep you down, they're not meant to keep you stuck, to feelings of, what do I want? How can I take myself past of this? Because this will not let me down. Nothing will keep me down. And so instead of looking at it from being afraid or from a weak stance, look at it from a strong stance of, with Unleash Your Passion, what can I do about it? How can I move forward? To start to think of the different ways of how one can reach their goals or reach the things that they want. You know, if we're constantly putting most of our energy into thinking how we're gonna be stuck in this situation and not get out of it, that's how most of the ideas are gonna flow in this area, insisting and confirming to you that you are stuck, proving it to you every single day. But if you decide to start thinking in the direction of, what can I do to fix it? You may not like initially with inertia the beginning ideas of what you get, but the more you get the ball rolling, the more you're gonna get brilliant ideas from a place of, I will do it, that will actually propel you forward in the direction that you want. You're gonna feel the inertia run and build patiently until it goes at full speed, and you will find brilliant ideas and brilliant ways to propel you forward, to find the exact success that you want. And all along all of this, do know that you are divinely protected by powerful forces that cannot bring you down and will not bring you down. You are powerfully protected, and that is the energy of Chamunda, where her name came from. That's one of Kali Ma's powerful forms, you know? So you're not alone, my dear pal number 3. Know that there is discipline. This involves discipline to stick to that type of thoughts. Powerful thoughts from light and not from shadow. To constantly take yourself from the dark place and say, okay, not thinking in this direction. I'm thinking in the direction of how can I solve it, of how can I get what you want. And a lot of the times you'll find that maybe you got yourself stuck in an idea that was unnecessary. Sometimes change that isn't really favorable is actually much better for you in the long run, and much better for your circumstances if you just allow yourself to be open-minded enough to look in a different direction. You will realize through, just like the yin and the yang, through this direction that wasn't really favorable, that it's full of light actually, if you shall allow it to, my dear pal number 3. And also there's another message for you, pal number 3. With the 3 of Cups and this card, I'm seeing the direct message of sometimes it's healthy to lean on those we love. Because when we spend time with loved ones, we take the time to go outside of our heads. We see different realities from the ones we're living, you know, other people laughing and joking and talking. We tend to feel, hey, the world is not so stuck as we're seeing, you know. We get into that lightheartedness place. And even if there's no one at the moment around you, sometimes it's about turning on a comedy show, turning on something that is lighthearted, where we can identify with others and feel, hey, it's not that bad after all, you know. And from that place of going outside of our heads to start thinking, what do we want in our lives? How can we get out of it? What do we want to achieve? And start taking steps from that mindset. And you'll see, as you start taking steps, little by little, they're going to grow. You will shift your reality and you are going to become victorious. Take it day by day. Pile number 3, don't be overwhelmed with the whole solution and how you're going to get out of it. Just take it day by day, task by task, or step by step. You cannot always see the way fully, but know that you are fully protected and guided. And when you find yourself falling into that place, connect with that type of energy, either through your phone or TV or people who you can talk and laugh with. Get outside of this energy and start going towards the journey. Start taking command of your life, having an open mind of where it's taking you. You know, you just want to get out of it victorious. You have a way, go through it and allow energies to flow, take you in the direction you're meant to go. And sooner than later, very soon, not only, as we said, are you going to get out of it victorious, but you're going to take such mastery over these energy that they will never affect you again. My dear pile number 3, you will always be in command of that energy. You will recognize it. It will no longer bring you down, and you will always feel powerful. And that's why you have Chamunda. Yes, you will always feel powerful, and you will overcome it again and again and again. Next times, much faster, in a speed of light, you'll come out of this without much suffering at all, very easily the next time. So pile number 3, I do hope you heed the call. Take it from a light place. See what you want. Start taking actions towards it, albeit tiny steps every single day. And you will see, pile number 3, you will see that you are going to come out of this victorious, getting what you want. This is exactly what I see in your reading, my dear pile number 3. I loved your reading. May you always be divinely protected and guided, and may you always be successful and achieve everything that you want, and may you come out of this victorious and never have to go through this again. My dear pile number 3, that was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Also, if you enjoy Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel. It's the first link in the description box. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, pile number 3. My book could really help you out in your journey of being productive and self-disciplined while enjoying the process. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate reading it, but it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. Pile number 3, it was a real pleasure and honor doing this reading for you. Thank you for allowing me. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. And by the way, happy puja, everyone. Bye.